How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffle Rowlett, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we've got another rumor coming our way from 4chan as per usual. Where else would it be coming from, if not from this beautiful little place? And yeah, we got a new rumor about Diamond and Pearl remakes for this year, which honestly is kind of unlikely. So before we get into the rumor itself, if you want to get to it straight away, I'd say jump about a minute into this video, a minute and a half maybe into this video when I start reading the rumor. But let me just be honest about this first of all, right? The likeliness of another, game coming out this year, especially Diamond and Pearl game, doesn't make much sense. Actually, next year makes more sense now that I think about it, right? And now that we've seen the Diamond, the expansion pass revealed and that sort of stuff, as well as a few other things, it just makes more sense that we would get a new game next year, right? A new Diamond Pearl remake, rather, next year. That makes far more sense. I think also a fan actually sent me something that I think is kind of interesting that I want to mention. I'm just going to try to find it real quick here. But somebody sent me, a piece of information specifically mentioning, that they've been kind of pushing more and more Diamond and Pearl stuff. There's been more and more Diamond and Pearl, hints and, images and stuff like that. So here it is. So, Elite 4 Mewtwo Sen saying, between the Japanese Pokemon YouTube channel uploaded this video of the anime of the Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Darkness / Time as they think to promote the newest Mystery Dungeon coming out. Gives me a bit of a Sinnoh feel, lol. And if you look at it, it does give a Sinnoh feel because, well, 2 of the Sinnoh starters are in it, which you can see, pop up, I think, where are they? Somewhere a bit further in. But, you see them, right, yeah, there you go, see? We got the Sinnoh starters, you know what I mean? It's why would they be popping up with this anime of all? Wouldn't you try to find something or maybe make something that makes a little bit more sense with it? But I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the deal is. It's kind of strange, but that's the point I was trying to make, right? So let's jump over to the actual rumor itself now, shall we? Actually, I didn't even show you guys what I was looking at. So this is what I was looking at, right? There it is, right? So it's Diamond and Pearl, I guess, connection here. But I don't know. It's kind of a little bit of a, it is what it is, but who knows? So let's continue to the actual rumor itself, shall we? Here it is. So, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remake leak. Information about Pokemon Diamond and Pearl 2020. Story is set 30 years after events of Diamond and Pearl. Reboots will be marketed as Adamant Diamond and Lustrous Pearl, hence their specific orbs in gameplay in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl 2006. So, that seems like it would be a reasonable name. I don't see any issues with that being the names. Adamant Diamond and Lustrous Pearl actually seem like reasonable names. I remember there was another name that was kind of hard to pronounce. Lustrous, I could say that pretty solidly. I feel like a child might have a harder time saying lustrous, lustrous pearl. Might be a little bit harder to say that, but I feel like anybody else might be able to say Adamant Diamond and Lustrous Pearl pretty simply. But yeah, that seems pretty reasonable. Now, next thing here, Mega Evolution returns with the following Pokemon with new Mega Evolution forms: Torterra Grass Dark, Infernape Fire Dark, Empoleon Water Steel, Luxray Electric Dark, Cricketune Bug Fairy, then East Gastrodon Water Dragon, and West Gastrodon Dragon Ground. New ability, Combi, male only. Hive creates a swarm of Combi when entering a battle, increases health and changes form. Sounds like something possibly it could be something that Game Freak would make, let's be honest. It doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility for something that they would create, so nothing strange there in terms of ability. Sinnoh variants are broken down into East and West forms. East forms gain different typings and forms to versions, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl 2006, Arcanine Dark, Chatot Fairy Dark, Meowth really? Meowth gets something more? Meowth has already got enough attention. I don't think Meowth needs more attention. Jeez. Octillery, Water Poison. But let's be honest, this is something Game Freak would do, right? They would totally leave every other Pokemon behind, but they would take another Gen 1 Pokemon and just give it even more love. Meowth already has literally what? It has Alolan form, it has Galarian form and evolution, I think. It's got a Berserker, right? And whatnot. It's got a Gigantamax form, and you want to add another form into that? Jeez, that would be too much. West forms gain different typings and forms, including Bibarel gets Ground Water, Staraptor Grass Flying, Lopunny Fighting Fairy, Floatzel Ice Water, and Magikarp Ice. But actually, I would love for Magikarp to get some love as well. I mean, I know Gyarados gets Mega, but, I love Magikarp to get some love. Wild Area returns. That would be cool if it did, but I'm wondering how they would implement it well. Roots become camera controllable as featured in Pokemon Sword and Shield, which would be sick as well. New champion, Cynthia, assists the hero in knowledge of lore. Wait, I'm confused. So new champion, but actually, I think he's trying to say that Cynthia assists the hero in knowledge of lore. Are they trying to do the same thing here that they did with Sword and Shield? Because I would not want that. I would not want that if it's just gonna be a information dump, But I would prefer it if it was the way it was in, like, you know, Diamond and Pearl, where you just kind of, like, you know, discover things on your own, and then, like, you know, she kind of appears, and, like, you know, it helps give a little bit more context to it, but, like, you know, it doesn't just, like, information dump on you straight away, like hardcore. But I don't know, I did like when Cyrus and, like, you know, Cynthia, and they all, like, show up in, like, one of the caves with, like, the, like, Azolf and whatnot, drawings and whatnot. But yeah, Regigigas is obtainable through the original method with Regice, Regirock, and Red Steel, but also with Pokemon Sword and Shield exclusives, Regidark and Regithunder. Okay, so that's meant to be a reference to the, whatchamacallem, to the expansion Pokemon that we're going to be getting. But actually, this kind of makes sense, honestly. Like, think about this, right? Logically speaking, this makes sense. I could definitely see them pulling some shit like this off, right? Where you'd be kind of needing to have the expansion plus the Sword and Shield games to then send those over, right, to the whatchamacallit, to the Diamond and Pearl games to be able to get. I could definitely see them trying something like, you know, Game Freak would love to do that, and you know the Pokemon Company wants to do that because that's some Skrilla, you know what I mean? Either way, Darkrai, Shaman, Manaphy have their own in-game event, unlike in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. So they're not going to be like side things, you know, like different. Which I guess we'll see how it turns out, if it is true. Next thing, Battle Frontier returns. That would be fun if it was true, but let's be honest, it's been several years, if anything. It's been decades. It's been over a decade, since we last saw the Battle Frontier make a appearance, right? So, likeliness of it appearing, slightly more on the unlikely side, I would say, right? It seems like it's more likely to not happen than to happen. Then Pokemon Contest return, which, oh boy, that would be, oh man. Like that would be great. That would also be awesome. Voice actor for characters is apparently also going to be a thing, which would be fantastic if it's true, but highly unlikely. And that's where you kind of start losing me. More options to customize hero, more clothes options, more hairstyles. DLC package available for purchase with release, not accessible immediately. Why would you need to have a DLC on release? I hate day one DLC. Why? Why wasn't that in the game to begin with? I hate when other games do that as well, by the way. Like, this, don't think I'm just attacking Pokemon over this, but I hate when they do day one DLC. Day one DLC is something that majority of the industry is also kind of like phasing out to some extent, right? In favor of more like something like a battle pass or something, right? Which I feel like is far more fair, but like, day one DLC is such an old idea now, and like generally kind of hated. But this sounds like that would be something like that, which I would honestly really, really dislike. As that's just like, why would you have a DLC, right? That's a day one DLC. Then you wouldn't even make it accessible, but it's technically speaking finished. Or you're paying for something that isn't finished, right? An unfinished product, essentially at that point, which you will eventually get, right? Which is just kind of like, why didn't you not just take your time and then add that eventually into the base game? Instead of segmenting it off. I don't know, I hate the idea of that, but like, who knows? But let's be honest, the likeliness of this being real, I don't know. Honestly, who knows? Anything is possible here, let's be frank about this. Anything is possible, but legitimately, I don't know. Because, let's be honest, the whole thing with like, these expansion passes is that it's thrown the whole speculation curve onto the side, right? Like, it's just been such a shit show of trying to figure out what they're doing, okay? Because in the past, it was kind of straightforward, right? We could assume that, you know, if there is no game a certain year, there's usually a kind of like a, like a spin-off game to make up for the missing stuff, right? So for example, in 2015, right, there was no new game in 2015 from the official Pokemon games, right, the mainline games, but there was a Mystery Dungeon game in 2015, right, which was kind of like, a thing to kind of keep people going with Pokemon, to keep Pokemon going while they were developing the next mainline game as well as other products, right? Because the year after that, they dropped Pokemon Go, as far as I can remember. And on top of that, right, if we look beyond that, you got, like, way more shit that's, like, kind of all over the place. But at least we were able to kind of, like, understand what was going to be the next thing to come in terms of release. Like, we knew what the next thing was going to be, somewhat, right? Like, we could kind of, like, tell based on, like, you know, previous releases, right? So if there was a new generation game, then the next game would usually be a remake or like a third version, right? So, okay, the next one is maybe a remake. So we get a remake, and that means that next game is either a break, a third version, or it's going to be like a start of a new generation, which is kind of like what we've had right now. If you look at right now, what we've kind of had is like, we had Sun and Moon, then we had Ultra Sun and Moon, so third version, so to say. We had Ultra Sun and Moon. Then we had Let's Go Peach, Let's Go Eevee, quote-unquote remake, right? Not really a remake, slightly different, but you get the point. And then we had a new generation, right? So there's a general theme there, but now it's kind of all over the place because now we've got these expansion passes, which makes it way harder to predict what's coming next, which means, I don't know, is it possible we might get a Diamond and Pearl game this year still, even though we're getting expansion passes? Maybe. I mean, I literally don't know, because Dave said, like, here's the thing, they said that they would never do DLC. They're now doing DLC, right? They said they would never do insert this thing, but they're doing that thing, right? Like, they've said so many things and straight up lied about it, right? They say they won't do something, but they end up doing it anyway. And this is not me saying, like, trying to say, like, oh, Game Freak lied or whatever, but they genuinely lied about some things and said, like, this is the reason for this is the reason for that, and that wasn't true at the, like, when you look at the grand scale of things, and at the end of the day, it wasn't the truth, so I can't really trust in any of the things they've told me in the past and go off of those anymore. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Are we gonna get another like, a Diamond and Pearl game this year? I don't know. Why would they release that when they've got, like, an expansion pass? I don't think they will. I think this year's just gonna be what we already have, right? Which is what? Like, the expansion pass, right? That's it. They're banking on making money from the expansion pass, and that's all we're gonna get from Pokemon this year. But I don't know. Maybe they're gonna give us a Diamond Pro game, because they're literally releasing Mystery Dungeon game in March. They're releasing, like, Mystery Dungeon remake. So maybe we'll get Diamond Pro remake as well. Like, I don't know. That's the problem. Like, what do you guys think? Because I honestly have no clue. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comment section down below, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and bye bye, ladies and gentlemen.